Filming videos like this without the proper equipment is hard. I hope you enjoy this complicated process. Hey, it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to show you how I set up my March bullet journal. I'll link all the products I use down below, and you'll see me sort of go through the creative process, and I really make it up as I go. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you like it. So we'll jump right in. Okay, so first and foremost, what I decided to do this time is utilize my Tombow brush pens in a way that I saw on YouTube how to turn them into watercolors. So this is something that's super fun, super quick, and looks really good if you can do it right. So first thing I do is I take this piece of plastic that actually came with something I ordered online, lay it flat down on my surface, and then once I have that situated, I take out my Tombow brush pens, and you just sort of like polka dot it around. You want to make sure you get enough ink on it that when you add water to make the watercolor technique, the colors really have a chance to be saturated. So I sort of dot it all around, and the next thing I do is take some water, and I'm just on my fingertips splatting it on the plastic. You want to do more water than you would think you would. With this one, I don't think I used enough water, so the colors didn't really run, and they kind of just stuck. They kind of just printed the way I drew them, and they didn't sort of blend. But the next one works out a lot better. So here's my next couple tries, and you'll see what they look like once they're dry. So I'm going to set those aside now, and I will get back to them later. But first and foremost, I need to make I say first and foremost so much. I need to bubble letter the word March. So I do this by drawing it out on a separate sheet of line paper and tracing it out. I decided to go with the green, and you'll see it becomes a spring floral theme. Now I'm going to cut out each letter, and that'll help me fix my messy bubble lettering. Okay, so next I'm going to just tape the letters together in an uneven pattern so it'll fit on my spread, and I'm just using regular Scotch tape. So now I'm bringing back those watercolor papers, and what I'm going to do is draw kind of like a raindrop. It's supposed to be a petal, but something in the middle of that is what it ended up being with the brush side of my Tombow pens. And then I'm also going to start cutting each individual petal out, which took a really long time and was really annoying, but it ended up looking really cool. So sometimes the annoying things are worth it. Next, I started taping all of the little petals onto the March that I had cut out, to sort of give it's kind of like a flower petal-y, feathery look, and I put the petals all on one side of the letters. So next, I am taking out my bullet journal. If you want to see some of those older spreads, check out my other video. But I just place the March in and find where it fits best, and then use some regular Scotch tape because I didn't have any double-sided tape, and taped it in. I like when it kind of pops out of the page, and this one really does. So it's okay that it has it at the top. So that is it for that first March page, and I'm really proud of how it looks. So now I'm moving on to my next page, which is always a calendar page with some room for some lists. So this page, I like to match my main page, so I'm going to use some of those leftover watercolors pages that I didn't cut out. There was a green one that I didn't use, and I will be using that now. But first and foremost, I take out a fresh piece of paper and draw and write out a small calendar. I like to keep it small and have a space to write important dates versus making it like big enough to write on the calendar days, because it just takes up a lot of space, and I think it isn't as fun as having more space to doodle. So I'm going to continue to make like a March title and a to-do list and an important dates. Sorry, this is like this is the first time that I ever filmed myself. This section, this section gets pushed down. And then I take my purple and pink and go over the titles. And then I cut them out. So next, I'm going to tape all these pieces onto my green watercolor and cut them all out. I had to fix my March a little bit, but next thing I do is tape them into my empty spread. Whenever I tape anything in, I like to close the book and give it a good squeeze, so to make sure everything's stuck in there. And then I had to fix the March again. It's like doesn't get messed up now anymore, but it took a little finagling to get it to sit right. So I decided to repeat a similar process on the next spread to give myself some room for budgets and goals for the month. This isn't really something I've done before, but I thought it could look nice. So next, I'm going to start working on my weekly spreads. These are really important to me because I use them to keep track of a lot of stuff I have to do for work and like adult crap that I have to make sure I do at certain times. So this first one I kept with the green themed and went for a dash sort of idea, and I have to count and recount things a bunch of times sometimes to make sure I put things in the middle. Oh, for the next page, I went with a blue and red themed. Just something simple, but I really like the way the cursive dates look. And for my second to last spread, I did use that green again and did something that I really like to use to separate out the dates. That's super easy. for my final page, I used a purple and did some stars that I think is a really great way to make dividers that's not lines, and it's especially helpful because then you don't have to like focus on making a perfectly straight line. So that's it. I hope everyone is having a fabulous March. Check out my other bullet journal videos. Comment down below what's in your March spread. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.